There are some movies that permanently change the way you live your life. With no hyperbole, About Time forever improved how I go about every second of every day. Hi, I'm Stuart and this is the Positive Picture Show, where I gush about movies I love. There are plenty of critics, but in my opinion, not enough film lovers. Right from the start, About Time feels so real yet so dreamlike, as if it takes place in the perfect nexus of raw reality and unapproachable imagination. It wastes no time in getting right to the plot so it can set the plot aside and focus on character. It doesn't really care about the mechanics or logistics, doesn't get burdened down by hypotheticals or hypotheses. It just hones in on humans and their hilariously humble humanity. Domhnall Gleeson, in the role of Tim, is pitch perfect. In this one role, he wins the monopoly on adorable characters. No one else should even try. Tim is a powerful protagonist because he's the paragon of the extraordinary ordinary. He's normal and relatable, but throughout the movie is shown to possess a power of love that infects others. He's capable and dependable and wise. He carries his emotions on the surface, and he's willing to be honest and vulnerable. Everyone and everything that he touches gets better because of him. Too many adorkable characters rely too much on the socially awkward side, not enough on the actually endearing side, that they fail to really be a powerful protagonist, but he doesn't. He succeeds where most others failed, and most of that is Domhnall Gleeson. A different actor in that role may have missed the mark just barely, but Gleeson finds the perfect balance. Bill Nighy is the backdoor heart of the film. If you don't connect with and adore him right off the bat, then the movie is lost on you. He channels every ounce of charm and sparkle you could ever want from a film father.
I'm not particularly proud of many things in my life, but I am very proud to be the father of my son.
In fact, all the characters ooze personality. There are so many strengths to this movie, but one of its greatest is its grasp on character. Everybody, the mom, Uncle Desmond, Harry, Rory, every minor and major side character all feel perfectly present and realized without overshadowing the main story and without slinking into the background. They feel like real people, and they have a real effect on Tim and the story. A special shout out has to go to Kit Kat. I don't know who that actress is. I've never seen her in anything else. To me, she exists only in this world, as this ethereal and adorable character. A character we all know. We all know people like her. She feels so real and so otherworldly, you just want to take care of her, just like Tim does. This movie could have easily stumbled into loser gets hot girl through manipulation. I always feel like there are too many movies that show men as animals or losers or what have you, and women are these capable and honestly unattainable human beings who the men somehow trick into being with them. But I never really understood that because that's not real life. Through sheer casting and tonal mastery, it skirts around this and instead lands in a more real place. A place where you can understand how people would fall for each other and how naturally this love story would develop. Honestly, there's only one word I can think of to describe About Time, and it's lovely. It's funny.
That is my daughter. Have sex with her if you like. Apparently everyone else has.
Blissful. Endearing.
It's very bad for a girl to be too pretty. Stops her developing a sense of humor. Or a personality.
Emotional, but most of all, lovely. You get this feeling of warmth from watching it. Lots of that comes down to the director, Richard Curtis, and his use of sunshine and water, of red and blue. It's all so delicious, but also very real. This movie isn't some kind of cinematic masterpiece. We're not talking about movies like Dune, movies that have these sweeping shots of majesty and power. This movie is more interested in the small and the humble, but in it, it finds the beauty there and the love. Speaking of love, what a love story. If you don't instantly fall for Rachel McAdams as Mary from just her voice, there's no love left in you, honestly.
Someone's there.
So, hi,
Hi. I'm Mary.
I'm Tim. Mary's my mother's name, actually.
Oh, does it suit her?
Sort of. Although she's sturdy, so Bernard might have been a better fit.
Rachel McAdams. Oh man. She's not a manic pixie dream girl. She isn't some unattainable goddess. She isn't a hopeless weirdo or a woman who will fix all your problems, or whose problems you have to fix. She just feels like this complete woman. She has a life, and you can feel that she had a life before Tim ever came along. She has desire, she has perspectives. She has just as much at play in the story as Tim. And she is beautiful. I mean, I have to put that out there. I am just in love with Rachel McAdams, and I think everybody would agree that they feel the same way. Any regular rom-com would be all about the pursuit. And trust me, I love a good flirtation scene just as much as anybody. The awkward, the happy, the tragic and exciting, all mixed up in between. But this movie gets rid of the hoopla that clogs up a lot of cheesy romances and condenses it all into truth. The only way you could watch this love story unfold without a big dumb smile on your face is if you've never been in love before. Honestly, it plays out so realistically. Forget about the time travel and him sitting for hours trying to find her this way and that. Forget about all of that and focus on the truth it is trying to tell you. The dialogue is so natural. It's light and real and honest. The first date scene is especially perfect.
You know, like prostitutes, I always worry that when they stop being prostitutes that they can't enjoy sex anymore.
You always worry about that?
No, I sometimes worry about
Oh,
it.
good. Okay, because someone who always worried about that would be a bit
When
of a
you read a
worry.
newspaper, do you think, oh, forget this, it's
Have you
work?
interviewed a lot of prostitutes?
And I love the little moments, the way they look at each other and support each other, the beautiful unsaid. I literally tear up just thinking about the tube montage. I'm a sucker for a romantic montage in any form, but this one might take the cake. It's so earnest, so without flash and melodrama, that it almost feels like memories instead of scenes. It feels like I'm living it all, not experiencing it from the outside. Everything about the way it plays out manages to be goofy yet touching. It pushes the plot forward but never seems plot driven. It's simple storytelling, some of the simplest ever, but it is remarkably effective.
How long will I love you? As long as stars are above you. Longer if I may.
A cheaper movie would have built the entire story around them officially dating or around them getting married, but this movie goes the step further. Yes, the wedding is beautiful. It's perfect imperfection. The moments of courtship are exciting. They're delightful and golden, but the movie wants more. The movie goes so far beyond that. The movie is far more concerned with life itself. Being a parent, loving and giving everything to a child, loving the love that those you love show that child, caring for a sibling, being willing to give up the world for that sibling, loving a father, daring, wishing, hoping to never be apart from that father, seeing the world, being present every day, basking in every moment and sitting in wonder at that world. Who wouldn't want to repeat every day of the first year of their baby's life? Who wouldn't do anything they could to make their sibling happy? Who wouldn't want to spend one more perfect day with their dad? Who wouldn't want to grab hold of every day's potential? That's what this movie is trying to tell us. This movie isn't just a love story. The love story is wonderful. The trailer moments, the first kiss, the funny in-betweens, the rainy wedding, but this movie really hits its stride in its second half. It turns out this fun, lighthearted rom-com is actually a sunshine meditation on life. Life isn't money. It isn't success or occupation. It is connection. Life is relationships. We are all a smattering of kaleidoscopic entanglements, connecting and interconnecting us all together in one. The thesis of About Time is that moments are all that matter, so you should live your life wholly and boldly in every moment. What a strange film. What a strangely profound film. What a strangely profound film that ends in a climax not of a sweeping romantic gesture or dramatic speech, but the smallest moment imaginable. A boy playing on the beach with his dad. This scene, this apex moment, is so gorgeously simple. The score is so beautifully humble but emotional. I love the score throughout this whole movie. I love a bombastic score like anybody else. I will be humming Indiana Jones and Star Wars to the end of my life. But there is something about a little score that makes it feel like it could play in your own life. And as the scene plays out and the sweet score rings in the message of this movie, you start to realize that this was never a love story between a man and a woman, but a love story between a boy and his dad. A boy desperately trying to be as good as he can be, as happy and as kind as the world will allow him to be, because of a dad who showed him how to do it. This scene never fails to crush me. I have seen this movie over half a dozen times, and every time I start to tear up by the end, which to me is the mark of a truly good movie. We don't go to movies just to be entertained. Film isn't an amusement park. It isn't just flash and bombast. Film and art in general is all about tapping into a genuine emotion and giving you that genuine emotional response and teaching you empathy. This movie does it almost like none other. I love movies, and for me, honestly, my favorite kinds of movies are usually the heavy ones. I like sad tragedies and dramas where the stakes are high, but there is something just stunning about a little movie that seems like it has nothing to say, but is actually trying to tell you everything you need to hear. In the end, this simple, profound, humbly yet impeccably directed, meekly yet brilliantly written little film about love and life is serenely lovely. If you give yourself over to it, it'll change the way you live every moment of every day of your life. I know it has changed the way that I do it. I think that if this was the second time I lived today, how would I react? What lessons would I learn? Who would I reach out to? And how would I learn to live more mindfully, to care for others, to build those connections that really matter?